Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today, right now?
Well, it is Sunday, which means that we're probably doing...
Sacrilegious Book Club!
That's the one. Jesus.
Oh my gosh, that was so enthusiastic.
That was like some pin-up sacrilegious book clubbing.
It was. It's been a minute.
Yeah, so what are we book clubbing today?
So we're still in this big old book called Treasury of Jewish Folklore, Stories, Traditions, Legends, Humor, Wisdom, and Folk Songs of the Jewish People, edited by Nathan Osubel.
Yeah.
And, we're in, I forget what part it is, but it's over halfway through the book.
It sure is.
We're doing some folk tales.
Folk tales.
On page 565.
And you gave a lead-in to the last episode that we did that this might be somewhat relevant to the time period that we're in talking about, maybe?
Relevant to the thing that we just read on yesterday.
Okay.
With regard to the Maccabees.
Okay.
That you found so confusing.
Yeah, I did. Just for the record, I re-listened to our episode today and I still was confused.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just saying.
Well, okay. Well, then maybe you'll hate this. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. So, you ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right. So, I did a quick peek and remember when I said, oh, shit, I don't remember what part we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are in part 4, Tales and Legends. And then of that, we are in chapter 4, Folk Tales.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And we're just covering the first half of this chapter because it's about Alexander the Great.
Okay.
Okay. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So anyway, like I said, page 565, and I'm just going to start with the introduction here and then go into some notes that I have.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
So the narrative art of Jewish folklore has the liveliness and color of all Eastern storytelling, Jewish, Hindu, and Arabic tales alike. They use all the technical devices of suspense and the surprise ending with much skill. And yet there is a subtle difference that marks off Jewish tales and legends from the other. Okay? They are more cerebral, turned inward, as it were, and tirelessly pointing a moral for the guidance of men. Okay, so their
Okay.
stories are more moral driven.
They say that.
They say that.
I mean, I don't know how much stock to put into that.
Based on what we've read, that's not always the case.
Well, I'm just saying, like, obviously this is leaning towards the Jewish take on this. So,
right.
I mean, to say that the other religions don't have a moral take is maybe being a little disingenuous, possibly.
Well,
I'm
I don't know the folklore.
We don't know the other side, so I'm just saying we don't know.
I don't know their folklore.
Right, exactly.
So,
and that's what I'm saying. We can't
got
speak.
it. That's true.
We're giving an opinion based on this book.
That is true. That is true.
That's
Good
all
call.
I wanted to say.
This is the character of the didactic tales about Alexander Mukdun, or Alexander the Macedonian,
Okay.
who is Alexander
The Great.
fucking great.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So here's where I'm going to deviate from the intro and go into my notes, which include some information from the intro, but also a little bit more about Alexander the Great and the time period to kind of tie it in better with what we were reading yesterday.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it is surprising that the G, that's how I...
What?
Alexander the Great.
Oh.
That's how I abbreviated him in my notes.
Got it.
The G.
Yeah.
It's surprising that Alexander the Great loomed so large and favorably in Jewish folklore because he had very little contact with the Jewish people, except for that one time that he marched through Palestine in 332 BCE. Okay. So yeah, he did that.
Got it. Was he just passing through?
He was just passing through on his way to conquer the world, you know?
Got it.
Yeah. Took it down, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Until the age of 16, Alexander was tutored by Aristotle.
Really?
Right?
Interesting.
So crazy, like all the different people and things that like
tie in
together and that go together.
Right.
Like I have such a hard time when I'm studying, like in school, you only study one culture at a time.
Yeah.
And then you never come back to it when you study a different culture the next semester, right? And the teacher and the history books, like they never put those things side by side and tell you these things were happening in different parts of the world at the same time.
Sure.
And that is why I've always hated history. Because I could never understand.
They don't tie it together.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm a person that I need all those loose ends tied together.
No, one of my favorite podcasts that is sadly no longer, I don't think they make new episodes anymore as much. Or at least, I think they release things from other people or something like that. But it's not the exact thing that I liked. But NPR had a podcast called Throughline. And I loved that podcast because they would talk about a current issue through the lens of all of history, essentially. Like they would tell you about that incident, that thing, starting from where it all originated from through current day.
I really liked that one too.
Yeah. It was such a great podcast.
It was really good. I liked it too.
Yeah.
So this upbringing, being tutored by Aristotle and his education contributed to his popularity because Hellenism and other Greek culture things had been infiltrating steadily into Jewish life since the pre-Maccabean era, which, I mean, that makes sense because that's what we were talking about yesterday, the confusion with the Greek culture versus the Jewish culture.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're getting rid of the Greek culture, but also, oh no, we're getting rid of the Greek culture.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't decide what they wanted.
Sure.
And so that was happening in Judea and Syria, but particularly into Egypt, where a great Jewish population of more than 1 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Had developed a significant Greco-Jewish culture by the 2nd century BCE.
Especially interesting considering God was going to kill them all.
Right?
Remember?
Yeah.
They didn't run away back to Judah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was going to wipe them all out. And instead,
now
they flourished in Egypt.
Right. Crazy how that worked.
Yeah. Thus, Greek legends about Alexander the Great found an eager audience among Hellenized Jews.
Okay.
Yeah. I love...
Well, and there was that Greek pharaoh, too, remember? So, I wonder if that helped, solidify some of those ideas, too. So.
Definitely.
Right,
Definitely. Yeah. So, in 335 BCE, shortly after his assumption of kingship over Macedon, Alexander the Great campaigned... I can't say just Alexander.
Right.
You
no,
have
it's
to say
Alexander the Great.
The Great is his last name.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. He campaigned in the Balkans and he marched all over the damn place.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gaining control of some countries and then destroying others.
Okay.
So if he couldn't like make them bend to his will, he just
destroyed them.
basically bombed them,
Got
whatever.
it. Right.
So in 334 BCE, he invaded the Persian Empire.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he began a series of campaigns that lasted for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Following his conquest in Asia Minor,
Right. Yeah.
Alexander the Great broke the power of Persia in a series of decisive battles.
Okay.
So, I mean, he was kicking some ass.
He's pretty great.
He was pretty great.
I mean, for,
that's what I hear.
Military person.
Yeah, yeah. So after the fall of Persia, the Macedonian Empire held a vast swath of territory between the Adriatic Sea and the Indus River. Okay.
It is funny to me, though, that we know him as Alexander the Great, and he apparently was very well thought of by Israelites, which kind of translates into Western culture.
Yes.
So, like, that idea that he was great from them is maybe why we think of him as, but, like, if you're Persian, if you were from that part of the world or
You're
Asia
like,
Minor,
he wasn't so great.
Maybe he wasn't so great.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
He wanted to reach the, quote, ends of the world and the great outer sea. Okay. So he invaded India in 326 BCE.
Damn, he made his way around the world.
Oh, he did. He achieved there a very important victory.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, he was sticking his dick everywhere.
Yeah. Right.
Due to the demand of his homesick troops, he eventually turned back and later on died in 323 BCE.
Okay.
In Babylon, the city of Mesopotamia that he had planned to establish as his empire's capital.
Okay.
Which I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're literally in the place that we've been reading about.
Yeah.
Okay. Alexander's death left a series of military and mercantile campaigns unfinished. Like, he had all these great plans that just kind of fell through when he died.
Right.
These would have begun with a Greek invasion of Arabia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the years following his death, a series of civil wars broke out across the Macedonian Empire, eventually leading to its disintegration.
Huh.
So he was the only thing holding it together.
Right.
And then when he died and all his plans
everything
crumbled.
Fell apart.
Yeah. So he was like a great leader, but didn't apparently have great leadership.
Right. To bring up somebody to follow him up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So his personality appealed to the Jewish community for multiple reasons, which I have listed here. Okay. 1, he treated his conquered people more humanely and with more tolerance than other world conquerors. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Right.
Like, as long as they bent and let him be in charge.
Yeah.
Then he was like, all right, cool. Go about your business. Do your thing.
Sure.
Number 2, he allowed Jewish life to continue undisturbed as long as they just let him have world domination. Like, literally.
I mean,
fair enough.
Right.
Right.
Look, how many times have the Israelites been in war, have been conquered, have conquered others, but like fighting all the time, right?
Right.
If somebody comes along and they're like, hey, you're good. I just want to claim this land.
Yeah. I just need to write your name here for tax purposes.
And then they're like, but we can do everything we were doing.
We're still Jewish, right?
Right. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, they're probably like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man, go. I mean, we don't want to fight all this. So,
yeah.
You
can say you own us. We don't give a shit.
We're cool with it.
We're always owned by somebody.
Right.
Okay, so number 3, his military genius was astonishing to all. Like, everywhere he went, even though they got conquered, they'd be like, but yeah, he is a pretty brilliant leader. I mean, look what he did to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we still talk about that today. That's like, I read in one of my notes that military leaders still to this day study his brilliant campaigns.
Right.
Because he was just such a smart
genius. Military,
yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I'm fumbling for words because how many different ways can you say brilliant and smart and genius,
Right.
But that's what he was.
Sure.
Okay. Number 4, he was a philosopher of the highest pedigree, as the Jews had great reverence for Aristotle. So they respected that about him.
Okay.
They're like, cool. We like that philosophy shit.
Right. right?
Which is funny because they were also like, but philosophy and Greek stuff, we don't like that. But,
to an extent,
but we do, though.
But there might have been different groups, too, because, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know.
It's so
that's
weird because they were like, some of them were for it and some of them were against it. And it depended on the political reason why and which group of them and which country they were in at the moment.
Sure. But like, let's take the United States, right? Like if somebody were to write a history about this time period later on and say, well, the U.S. had taken a large swing to the Christian nationalist side of things. And that's how the world started. Like that's how they started acting because the government was controlled by that and the Supreme Court and everybody started, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that we're a monolith.
That's
In fact, most of us don't agree with that.
Right.
But our government acts as though that's not the case.
Right. Exactly.
So.
All right. Number 5. His intellect was admired almost as greatly, perhaps, as Solomon's.
Wow.
Yeah. So they didn't make that comparison.
Solomon might have been the wisest, but this dude was like the second wisest.
Yeah. Like they didn't make that comparison themselves, but the way that they write about him and admire him, it's like they all but say it.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Talmud authors found in Alexander the perfect specimen for their moralizing folk tales.
Okay.
Because even though he was like a brilliant military campaign person and he was really smart and stuff, he wasn't Solomon. He wasn't Jewish. So they could also like paint him as goofy.
Sure.
And be like, oh, that Alexander the Great.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one satirical question raised in many of the Jewish Alexander stories is this. How was it possible for a man claiming to be a philosopher to be so lacking in wisdom and virtue as to pursue such destructive and senseless ends as wars of conquest?
I mean, you could say the same thing about the Israelites at certain points during their, earlier years.
Yeah.
So I don't. That
how indeed?
maybe look inward a little bit.
Right. So. Right. So many Alexander stories in the Aggadah and other Jewish literature, which there are Alexander the Great stories in the Aggadah and in Jewish literature.
Sure.
That just astounds me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that just came unexpected to me.
Right.
They come straight from Greek tales and legends.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. The 3 that are included in this section that we're going to read today.
Yeah.
Those 3 are Jewish in origin.
Okay.
Okay. So the other ones were influenced by other stories. These ones are strictly Jewish created.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second one is derived from the Talmud. The second story that we're going to read came from the Talmud. And the third one first appeared in the Aggadah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to get into these stories, and they're all pretty short. Okay. And none of them are too brilliant. I just thought that makes for a natural breaking point in the chapter to talk about Alexander the Great and then read those 3 stories, and then we'll do the other ones next book club. Okay. Okay, that are not Alexander related.
Sure.
Okay, so we start with The Great Are Also Little on page 566. Okay. This one, when I read it, sounded kind of familiar, so I've either heard this specific story or one inspired by it.
Got it.
Okay. This is page 566, The Great Are Also Little. No matter how much he achieved in the world, Alexander still remained dissatisfied. I would like to experience something most unusual that no human being before me has ever experienced, he cried. So he ordered his hunters to capture a number of eagles. Nobody ever captured eagles like that before. Just kidding. He chose the largest among them and sat himself astride it. You couldn't be very big if you could sit even on a large eagle, is my opinion. Right? You can't be a very large person.
I think people were a little bit smaller back then.
They were shorter. So, like, Lincoln is supposed to be, like, super tall, but then if you, like, actually look at his measurements, I think he was only, like, 5'10".
Right, yeah.
Some shit like that.
Well, have you ever walked into like old houses from like the 17 or 1800s?
Yeah, like the doorways are so much lower.
Yeah,
it's interesting,
right?
Yeah, it's almost like evolution or something.
You know, it's almost like that,
right? Yeah. Interesting. Right. Yeah, so maybe they could fit on eagles back then.
Maybe.
Okay, so he sat on this fucking eagle. He chose the largest among them and sat himself astride on it. Then he speared a piece of flesh onto his lance and raised it high. As soon as the eagle smelled the flesh, it rose up in the air, straining to reach it. Purposely, Alexander held the flesh out of reach of the eagle, who rose ever higher and higher into the air.
Alexander the Great rode a fucking eagle.
He rode a fucking eagle into the sky, yeah.
Called bullshit, but okay.
I mean, it's not a bad way to ride an eagle. If you're going to ride an eagle, that's the way to do it.
If it was at all possible, yeah. I mean,
that's how I'd ride a dragon.
Sure. Yeah, you know? Just dangle some meat in front of it.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Soon the towns and cities began to look like pinpoints to the king. Alexander was filled with vainglory. Who can compare to me now, he gloated. I am higher than all men. In my eyes now, they look like insects. And I'm like, you're brilliant, and nobody else would ever do that.
Right.
Right? Like, now that they've seen you do it, though, you're not great. You were just the first one that did that. And maybe not the first one, but just the first one that we know about.
I mean, let's just be clear. He didn't do this.
Oh, right. No, okay. Totally.
And no one, you can't ride a fucking eagle.
No, you can't.
Okay. All right.
Their bones would not support you.
No.
But suddenly, fear gripped him. He thought, if I am so high up, how can people see me? Maybe I also look like a fly to them.
You do.
Perhaps they don't see me at all. And if I am out of sight, how can they do me honor? Soon they may even forget me. Like, when it said that suddenly fear gripped him, I thought it was like, if I fall from this height, I will surely die.
But no, it's because he's going to be forgotten.
What if they don't like me anymore?
Well, if they're going to forget you during the course of a flight on an eagle,
right?
You got some bigger issues, man.
Yeah, I'm just like, I think that your priorities are a bit confused, my guy. And all his pride burst, and his uniqueness seemed as nothing to him now. And still the eagle kept soaring farther and farther from the earth. Once more, Alexander looked down, and the earth now seemed to him like a little ball.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, Jesus so he flew that eagle up into space, is what they're trying to tell me.
Past the moon, even.
Yeah. The king grew frightened, and he lowered his lance with the flesh on its point. Straining to reach it, the eagle began to descend over lower and lower. Soon objects became distinct, even larger and larger, towns, trees, and people. And the nearer he came, people grew bigger and bigger to his eyes. And Alexander rejoiced and derived the right moral from it. Okay?
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
When he reached the ground again, he ordered a sculptor to fashion a portrait of him holding a small sphere in his hand. Let people know, spoke the king, that even the mighty Alexander can look as insignificant as this tiny sphere.
Wow. That is
the good moral, but I don't think if they see you holding that, what that looks like is you saying, I was bigger than the world for a minute.
Right.
The world was as nothing but a little ball while I was high in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, I somehow think that maybe...
Or like, I hold the world in the palm of my hand.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm like... I hear your words, but your picture that you're asking to be painted doesn't match.
Right.
I maybe think you didn't get the right moral.
Right. Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Sure.
Okay. So the next story begins on the next page, 567, and it's called The Lord Helpeth Man and Beast.
Okay.
And I liked this one.
Okay. Yeah.
During his march to conquer the world, Alexander the Macedonian came to a people in Africa who dwelt in a remote and secluded corner in peaceful huts and knew neither war nor conqueror. They led him to the hut of their chief, who received him hospitably and placed before him golden dates, golden figs, and bread of gold.
Okay.
Do you eat gold in this country? Asked Alexander. I take it for granted, replied the chief, that thou wert able to find eatable food in thine own country. For what reason, then, art thou come among us? Your gold has not tempted me hither, said Alexander, but I would become acquainted with your manners and customs. So be it, rejoined the other. Sojourn among us long as it pleaseth thee.
Okay.
At the close of this conversation, two citizens entered as to their court of justice. The plaintiff said, I bought of this man a piece of land, and as I was making a deep drain through it, I found a treasure. This is not mine, for I only bargained for the land and not for any treasure that might be concealed beneath it. And yet the former owner of the land will not receive it back.
The hell?
The defendant answered, I hope I have a conscience as well as my fellow citizen. I sold him the land with all its contingent as well as existing advantages, and consequently the treasure inclusively.
Wow, this is a very honest people
Right?
that he came across here.
Yeah, they're very nice to each other. Like,
they're going to court to fight over who
gets the gold, not me.
Right, yeah.
It reminds me, there was this episode of The Simpsons where Lisa and Bart were arguing over who loves Homer more. And at first you're like, oh, that's cute. They're like, you're thinking that they're going to be like, I do. But then, no, they're actually saying, you do. I'll never forget that. That's what this reminded me of.
Yeah.
Okay. The chief, who was at the same time their supreme judge, recapitulated their words in order that the parties might see whether or not he understood them aright.
Mm-hmm.
Then, after some reflection, he said, "Thou hast a son, friend, I believe." "Yes." "And thou," addressing the other, "a daughter?" "Yes." "Well then, let thy son marry thy daughter and bestow the treasure on the young couple for a marriage portion." Which I didn't like the arranged marriage bit.
Right.
But
given customs back then and the time and what have you.
And they were like, well, yeah, that's great. Alexander seemed surprised and perplexed. "You think my sentence unjust?" the chief asked him. "Oh, no," replied Alexander, "but it astonishes me." "And how then," rejoined the chief, "would the case have been decided in your country?"
Right.
"Ooh, to confess the truth," said Alexander, "we should have taken both parties into custody and have seized the treasure for the king's use."
What?
That tracks.
That's a bit harsh.
Like, why you bringing this foolish thing?
I guess.
Like, either y'all split the gold. Well, they would have been fighting to keep the gold is a thing.
Yeah.
And so if they went to court over it, they would be like, solve this problem.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
"For the king's use," exclaimed the chief. "Does the sun shine on your country?" "Oh, yes." "Does it rain there?" "Assuredly." "Wonderful. But are there tame animals in the country that live on the grass and green herbs?" "Oh, very many and of many kinds." "Aye, then that must be the cause," said the chief. "For the sake of those innocent animals, the all-gracious being continues to let the sun shine and the rain drop on your own country, since its inhabitants are unworthy of such blessings." I liked that one. I was like, oh, damn.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, he's like, your people suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I have
amazing.
a feeling that some, Alexander the Great, being a conqueror and all, wouldn't have much appreciated that, disparaging remark toward him.
I don't know, because the way he's presented in this story in particular, like, he doesn't say he disapproves.
Right.
He was specifically asked, "Do you disapprove?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, actually, it's fine."
Sure.
Like, and
they do refer to him as a philosopher, so maybe he was willing to take in new ideas.
Yeah, I think that he was just like, wow, that's actually really cool. We would never do something like that.
Right.
Like, I think he kind of admired it.
Sure.
Like, that would never fly in my country. We'll never be like that. And I am going to, conquer you.
Right.
But still, cool. Good story, bro.
Right.
Okay, last one. Ready? This one is on page 568, and it's called The Acquisitive Eye. And I did kind of like this one as well.
Okay.
This one's more philosophy driven.
Yeah.
After he had conquered the entire world, Alexander started back on his journey home to Macedonia. On the way, he came to a stream. He dismounted, and taking out some salted fish he carried in his knapsack, he began to rinse them in the water before eating. At this, a remarkable thing happened. Upon touching the water, the fish became alive.
I mean, that's not entirely surprising.
Right.
Like,
that can happen.
That can happen, yeah.
But in this story, it is magic.
Sure.
Okay. Filled with amazement, Alexander threw himself into the stream and bathed in it. "Now I understand," he cried overjoyed, "that the water in this stream flows from paradise.
Wow.
I will wash my face quickly in it, and then I'll follow the stream, for it's sure to lead me to paradise." Barely had he finished washing his face when his eyes began to shine like stars. His face became radiant. His energies renewed.
Wow.
I need to swim in these waters.
Where is this place?
I don't know, but I'm hoping it will help me lose some weight.
Right.
Never before had he felt so happy. Quickly, he went up to the gates of paradise, but he found them closed. Open the gates, he cried out. Alexander wants to enter.
Right.
Like, could you imagine, like, marching up to a gate and saying, your name wants to enter?
I mean, he was a conqueror, so maybe he just felt entitled to go into whatever.
Trump would say it, like, referring to himself in the third person all the time.
Sure.
Open the gate, husband. Wife wants in.
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
That's not how we talk.
Yeah.
Instantly, the answer came. These are the gates of the eternal. Only the pious may enter here. Seeing that the gates would not open for him, he implored, give me some kind of token, O heavenly gates, so that I can prove that I've been here. At this, the gates of paradise relented and opened for an instant. A human eye then rolled towards him. Amazed, Alexander picked it up and placed it in his knapsack. Then he made his way home to Macedonia. No sooner had he reached home when he called all his wise men together. He told them everything that had happened to him. What signifies the strange gift I received? He asked.
Yeah.
O king, replied the wise men, place the eye in the scales and weigh it. What for? Replied Alexander. I can tell you beforehand that it weighs but little. Like, I just carried it all the way home. It's a fucking eye.
Sure.
Just do it just the same, the wise men urged. In the other half of the scales, place a gold piece. Then we will find out which is heavier. The wise men know a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You can tell they know what's happening.
Sure.
Okay. Then we will find out which is heavier. Alexander did as they asked. To his surprise, he found that the eye was heavier than the gold piece. He threw into the scales another gold coin. Still, the eye was heavier.
Oh, man.
He then threw in a whole handful of coins and ordered that all his gold and silver and jewels be thrown in. Still, the eye outweighed the treasure.
Okay.
Even were you to take all your chariots and horses and palaces and place them in the scales, the eye will still be heavier, said the wise men.
That's one crazy eye.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Again, this is a philosophy story.
Sure. No,
okay?
I know.
Okay. How do you explain this? Asked the king. How is such a thing possible? Learn a lesson from this, O king, said the wise men. Know that the human eye is never satisfied with what it sees. No matter how much treasure you will show it, it will want more and still more. Your explanation doesn't satisfy me. Give me proof, insisted Alexander, which I think is fair. Like,
Sure.
That sounds weird. Like, arbitrary. Like,
Right.
I see that all the jewels are heavier than the eye. That is some weird mojo going on.
Right.
But just what an odd lesson that you're applying to it.
I agree.
Very well, agreed the wise men. Have all your gold and treasure removed from the scales. Then place a pinch of dust in their place and observe what happens. Barely had Alexander placed a little dust in the scales when they tipped to the other end.
Oh, man.
For the dust proved heavier than the eye. Now I understand the meaning of your words and of what was in your minds, cried Alexander. So long as a man is alive, his eye is never sated. But no sooner does he die when he is as dust. Then his eye loses its impulse and becomes powerless. It can no longer desire. The end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I thought that was an interesting lesson.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I think what I like from it, from the whole set there, is that Alexander the Great seems to be he seems like a reasonable person.
Yeah.
Ish.
Right.
Like, he conquered lots of people, so I'm guessing he wasn't all that reasonable.
Yeah, like, this, you have to qualify your statement. Like, it comes with a caveat that, given that he was a fucking mass murderer.
I mean, to be fair, that's not all that uncommon in ancient times. That especially we've been reading about it all through the Bible. So it's almost become a little bit numbing how much we read about like just mass murder.
Like, you just almost forget that. Okay, wait, no. He was reasonable given that he killed entire populations of people.
Right.
Like,
he was reasonable to philosophies. He was reasonable to intellect.
And to other cultures' ways of doing things that allowed for equity and equality.
Right.
Even if he didn't necessarily practice them themselves, he seemed to respect and admire it.
At least according to these portrayals.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't want to give him any more credit than he's due because I don't really know that much about him other than he's great, according to, history.
He is great. That's what we hear all the time about how great he is.
It is.
It's part of his fucking name.
Yeah, it sure is.
I had no idea he was actually Alexander or anybody else other than the great, much less Macedonia.
Right.
That he wanted to make Babylon his fucking
base
capital city.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. So you can see why yesterday I was like, y'all gonna want to stay tuned because that history about him it fit the time period kind of.
Got it. All right. Well, is that our book club for today?
That is our book club for today. And next time we will continue that chapter. It'll have more stories, folk tales, but it won't involve Alexander.
Okay. So that'll do us for today for the Sacrilegious Book Club.
Sacrilegious Book Club.
And I will be getting out the weekly wrap-up out here shortly.
Wrap it up out.
Yeah, I said too many words there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then we will be back tomorrow with...
Jeremiah chapter 46.
All right. We'll see you then.
Okie dokie. Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.